Hello everybody, welcome back to Devi Daily Yoga for this yin yoga practice for the hips and shoulders. These are two parts of the body that can accumulate quite a bit of tension and get quite stiff as we get older. So we are going to stretch it out, release tension, and increase our flexibility in these parts of the body. This is a practice you can do on a regular basis to keep yourself mobile. You won't need any special props, and there will be options for all levels for this practice. So go ahead and roll out your mat. Practice begins right now. We'll begin in child's pose. So climb onto hands and knees, finding a table pose with your knees hips width apart, and send your hips back. And feel free to open your knees wider if that feels good on your hips. Bring your forehead to the floor and start to feel the stretch in your back. And sensing the shift of energy as we enter into this first pose. Feeling your connection to the earth. Feel the parts of your body that are contacting the earth. Palms of your hands, forearms, shins, and the tops of your feet. Feel this gentle stretch in your back body, and now breathe into your back body. And exhale, feel your spine lengthen and soften. And now take another breath across the upper back from shoulder to shoulder, like you're puffing up your upper back. Good. Exhale, relax, let your heart melt down. And now take a breath into the back of your hips, like you're breathing side to side, widening your hips in the back, puffing up your sacrum. And with your exhale, soften your sacrum down, relaxing your hips and your pelvis. With your next inhalation, come up and moving into some hip circles. Let's gently sway the hips to the right and back toward the heels a bit and over to the left and forward. Getting a little bit of dynamic movement. We'll continue in this direction. Feel the energy moving through your hips and shoulders. One more time in this direction. And go ahead and shift to the other direction. 3 slow circles. Feel the sensations as you move around. Feel what's happening in your hips and your shoulders and your spine. One last time, circling around. And return to hands and knees. And find your way into puppy. Take the hands out in front and settle your heart down. You can play around with the exact placement of your hands to get whatever gives you a wonderful stretch in your shoulders. Options here to keep the head at a hover, or drop the chin to the floor or the forehead to the floor. And this stretch moves into the chest, the ribs, and of course the armpits, which is the under part of your shoulders. And as much as possible, let gravity do the work here. Just relax down and breathe into your upper body. And let your tension be released a little bit more with every breath that you exhale. And slowly come back up. Walk your hands back and find your way into Seiza. Sit on your heels if that works for your body. If it doesn't, you could sit on a block or two, or alternatively, just stand up. And take the hands to clasp behind the back and open up your chest. Lift your gaze, spread your collarbones. Take a breath in. Reach your arms away from your back. Now with your exhale, sweep your arms out to the sides and give yourself a big hug. Round your upper back, bring your chin towards your chest. Just nurturing yourself for a moment here. And sweep your arms around and clasp with the other finger on the outside. And open your chest, reach your arms back, lift your gaze. Inhale into this open heart. And now with your exhale, wrap the arms with the other arm on top. And give your own heart a hug. Round your spine. You might even rock side to side like you're rocking a baby. Good, and release. Let your arms come back down to your sides. Now from here, we're going to come into Tadpole with the knees maybe as wide as the mat, or you can feel it out to see what distance between the knees is good to stretch into your inner thighs or the inner hips. And take the arms out in front and settle the forehead to the floor. Option to widen your knees even more and perhaps even widen the feet if you want more sensation. And if you want less sensation, of course, you can bring your knees closer together. Softening and breathing here. Inviting this underbelly of your body to soften and relax. And from here, we're going to stay with the legs as they are and move into a shoulder stretch by threading the left arm under the right. Bring the outside of your left shoulder to the floor and the left side of your head to the floor. Your right hand can stay up above the head. And we're stretching the left shoulder, so the outer left arm is against the floor. And this tends to work a little better if you have your skin against your yoga mat to get some traction, but you might still be able to get a good stretch here in the deltoids, the outer muscle of your shoulder. Relaxing and breathing here. And slowly unwind. And reach the left arm forward and just slide the right arm under the left. Making any final adjustments so you can get the outer right arm and shoulder on the floor. Lengthening the right side of your neck. And breathing into this stretch, softening with each breath you exhale. And slowly unwind. And come back to center. And gently lift up to hands and knees and walk your knees back in toward one another. Now tuck your toes and lift your hips up into downward dog and take a few moments to pedal the feet. Bend one knee at a time. Feel your hips. Feel your shoulders. Notice any difference between the right side and the left side. And now we'll drop the knees and come back to hands and knees. Now let's take it into sleeping swan. Slide your left knee forward and turn the shin. Take the left foot next to the right hip, or you can pull it up farther for more intensity. Option to bend the back knee and take it toward deer for a less intense stretch, or keep the back leg straight. Now lift up and we'll take a few moments in up swan before we move forward. Stretching into the front of your right hip and thigh as you lift up. And one more inhale. And with your exhale, come down onto your elbows or onto your forehead. Or you could rest your forehead on your hands. The target area is the outer left hip. We have 3 gluteus muscles in this area. This is right in your left buttock, and underneath all of that we have a bunch of external rotators, which are something that can get quite tight in the body and cause us to have hip pain and knee pain and sciatica and lower back pain. So it's really good to regularly stretch out this part of the body in this direction. And once you've settled into a place of stillness, start to invite your body to relax a little more into gravity. And now slowly come up. And as you come upright, take your back knee and bring it toward the foot. So your legs have kind of a right angle thing going on, but you can play around with these angles as we come into our next pose, which is reclined deer. We'll begin to rest back on the hands, and you might be happy here, getting a stretch in the front of the right hip and thigh. If you don't feel anything quite yet, maybe you come back onto your elbows or onto your back. And if you want to adjust this sensation, you can try different things with your other leg, with your left leg. If you have the knee up, it might give you a better stretch. If you extend the leg forward or even hug the knee in, see what feels good as you continue to focus your awareness on this stretch in the right hip and thigh, the front of the right hip and thigh. This is another pose where the traction of your skin on the mat can make a difference. So if your foot sort of wants to slide out to the side, you might try doing this without socks. I know a lot of us practice yin with our socks on. It's a wonderful practice that we can do with our socks, but this traction here kind of helps keep the foot in place. And settling into a comfortable position where you can breathe and relax. option to take your arms up over your head and hold opposite elbows or opposite forearms if it helps you to get an additional shoulder stretch that feels good. Or just let your arms relax over your head. And settle into a steady and easy rhythm of breath. Slowly release. Bring the arms down to your sides if you have them up and gently press up. And now let's move into half shoelace pose. Take your right leg forward and your left foot over and to the opposite side, and get your left knee on top of your right or just as close to that as possible. It's fine if the knee is up in the air. And we're going to come forward over this leg. And this might feel wonderful to you to just keep yourself supported on your hands. Maybe the hands are on the leg or the foot. But we have an added option today. This is where we're going to take the right elbow over top of the left and either bring the palms together or the backs of the hands in our eagle arms. And you could also just hug around the back of your shoulders if that feels better. Now from here, we can come forward as well. The elbows might come toward the knees. The elbows might want to reach beyond the knees, depending on your range of motion and your body mechanics. So settle into your pose and find a place of calm and stillness to breathe and rest. Stretching the back of your right thigh and the back of your shoulder blades. Relaxing with each moment that passes. Now slowly rise up. Slowly unwind your arms. And let's move it into sleeping swan on the other side. You could turn toward the opposite side of the mat like I'm doing. And square your hips, or in yin, you don't have to square your hips. You might enjoy dropping over onto one hip or using a block there under the hip. And we'll take our up swan, lifting through the chest and the shoulders. Feeling a stretch in the front of your left hip and thigh. And then slowly make your way down, resting in your version of the pose, gauging the stretch in the right buttock. This is the outer part of the hip. We've already stretched the inner part of the hip, the back of the hip on one side. We're going all the way around what we call the hip mandala in Yin Yoga. Resting in the pose and inviting tension to dissolve. Slowly now come up. And as your torso comes up, you'll bend this back knee, take it to meet up with the foot, and find this general shape of the legs to come back into your version of reclined deer. Maybe you're staying right here on the elbows. Maybe you're staying right here on your hands. Maybe you're coming down onto your elbows. And maybe you're coming onto your back or over a bolster. Now, if this is challenging right here because your knees are stiff or painful, you could always roll away from this stretch a little bit and maybe even put a cushion under this side of your hips or under both hips to make it work out. You could lean back against your sofa or a piece of furniture, or come to the floor if it's comfortable. And breathe into this stretch in the front of the left hip and thigh this time. And sometimes people ask me to do classes for the knees, and this is really where our knee health originates, is in our hips. So healthy hips mean healthy knees. Noticing your energy settling and softening. And now slowly make your way back up. And from here, we take our left leg forward, right foot crosses over, right knee on top of the left. And coming forward like so, or crossing the right arm over the left. Yes. Inhale. And as we exhale, we come forward. Maybe the elbows stay close to the belly for a more rounded upper back. Or maybe they come in front of the knees for a little more hip stretch. And the primary sensation, the primary target area is the back of your left thigh. Now slowly come up and slowly release your arms and come all the way down onto your back now. And once you're on your back, find windshield wipers, placing your feet as wide as the edges of your mat and spread your arms out wide. And let both knees sway to the right and then to the left. Turn your head the opposite way of the knees as you continue side to side. Continue a couple more times, a couple more breaths. And last time to the right, and last time to the left. Bring it back up to center. And now draw the knees in and hold on to your feet, coming into happy baby pose with the soles of your feet smiling up at the sky. Lengthen the back of your neck along the floor. And feel into the back of your hips as you gently draw your legs down toward the earth. Okay, letting go of the legs now and find your reclined butterfly with your feet together, knees open out. And let your hands rest on your body, one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart or the upper abdomen. and sensing into the effect of this practice on your body. There might be energy flowing through your shoulders and your hips, all the way around the hips, and we also stretched all parts of the shoulders. Notice now what you feel. And let this sensation help to draw your mind inward into this place of restfulness and relaxation. Now with your next inhale, spread your arms and legs out into star. Spread out in all directions. With your exhale, bend your knees and roll over onto one side and slowly come up into a comfortable seat. Crossing the legs and sitting up tall. Closing your eyes for a moment to notice what's happening in your body now as you take a final 3 breaths. Navigating this inner landscape of sensation and breath and awareness. And bring your palms together in front of your heart and we'll sound out Om 3 times together. Let's take an inhale. Om. Gently let your eyes open, and that's the end of our yin yoga practice for hips and shoulders. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to the next time we practice together. Namaste.